Yes, man. Back at it again, man. No face the Rambler. We're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into it, man. This has been a topic I spoke on previously, a few years back, man. It's regards of Chicago and Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Um, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give my spill, man. You know, I'm gonna speak from the real, man. It's no face the Rambler, and it's gonna be my honest assessment of what's going on. This isn't here to try to criticize individuals and a demonstration. I'm not trying to bash other places and other regions, but we gonna get into this, man. We gonna get into this. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times in life, you realize people are speaking from situations and positions about where they're from, and these are the type of individuals that never really traveled anywhere. They've only been within a few blocks of their little section and wherever they live at. And whatever they see from their day to day within their own community, they're under the impression that that's like the livest place on the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And we about to dispel that, man. You know what I mean? We about to dispel that. The topic is, which is more, dangerous. And, yeah, this is a topic of ignorance, but this needs to be put out there for awareness, man, so individuals can understand. Which is more dangerous? Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California. Me? I'll be honest with you, man. Chicago, Illinois, hands down. Chicago, Illinois, hands down. LA, definitely, man. They definitely get down. They get busy. You know, they have a legacy of putting in pain when it comes to, putting in work and things they do as far as their gangsterism, man. Uh, their street culture, man, was very influential and influenced a lot of areas across the globe. And I got my personal opinions why I think Los Angeles based gangs were basically more what's the word I'm looking for? More popular and more promoted to push across the unified states and the globe versus Chicago, Illinois street organizations. You know what I'm saying? With Los Angeles, you gotta understand it's California, man, it's the home of Hollywood. So the propaganda piece, also the contribution to hip hop. And also, various Crips and Blood sets kind of stepped outside of California and went to several cities and introduced a lot of cities to, the drug market, the drug trade. A lot of these cities and a lot of these towns that really had, no form of identity are recognized from any type of street underworld. Whereas with Chicago, my personal opinion, Chicago was always kind of contained as far as their street organizations, though they had, a lot of street organizations that kind of branched nationwide in the 80s and 90s. However, a lot of theirs was contained because they're more structured and they're more militant. You know what I'm saying? They move more like a governing body, so to speak. Uh, they get chastised. There's ranking within their street organizations and things of that. But what people got to understand, Chicago's demonstration what was introduced to the United States on a public platform via drill music. Everybody was kind of in awe and amazed with the whole BD, GD wave, that whole drill culture that introduced Chicago street world, the killing and all that, man. It was a shock to a lot of, Americans, because nobody never really seen or understood that side. An individual like myself who's been in tune, I could tell you that a lot of what you've seen coming out of Chicago, which was introduced to a lot of the public around, 2010, 2011 with the death of JoJo, things of that nature, that's been going on in Chicago since the 50s, man. That's been going on in Chicago since the 50s. Chicago's always been a city like that, where they was known to put in pain. Chicago's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? The masses of the United States of America, a lot of people didn't really know that Chicago got down like that. Chicago's always been like that. Through Chicago's rap scene in the 90s and somewhat in the late 80s, they never really promoted none of that because they knew how serious it was. So they had a lot of, basically lyricists and game spitters and basically, conscious artists coming out of Chicago that promoted a lot of positivity. But they knew how hectic and demonic their street world was. They never really pushed that. Where LA, on the other hand, when NWA hit the scene, they were speaking things on a public platform that nobody's never really ever heard of or really seen. You know what I'm saying? Because when hip hop started, the only people that was really speaking raw like that to an extent was, Rakim, who was considered a gangster rapper at the time. Just to be honest, you know what I'm saying? And Cool G rap. However, to dive off into their streets, man, Chicago has always been like that, man. Chicago's always been a place, man, where, it doesn't take a lot to get your head bust, man. And when you got problems out there as far as street beef, them individuals definitely do an overkill. You know what I mean? It's no qualms, it's no second guessing. That's what they on. They've been on that. They've been on that. They've been on that, to the point that the mayor and the governor of Chicago, they kind of recognized that early on. That's why, Larry Hoover got like 143 years in the 70s, man, for what they accused him of basically orchestrating a hit on somebody. Do your homework to Jeff Fort. Do your homework to Willie Lloyd. Do your homework to David Barksdale, man. Chicago's been on that, man. I said before, into regards of the Keefe D situation with the Tupac trial, that I really, really didn't believe that, the Southside Crips did that to Tupac in Las Vegas. I don't believe that. But if that was a Chicago street-based organization, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I believe that. Hell yeah, I believe that. Hell yeah, I believe that. I.e. FBG Duck. The man of the way he was taken out. KTS Dre. THF Bobo. Both these brothers were gunned down mercilessly, man. Hit with all types of bullets, man. coming out of Cook County Jail. 30 to 40, some cases 50 shots. All type of closed caskets, man. The demonstration in Chicago, man, in Chicago, they not playing, man. Hell yeah, it's a more dangerous city than Los Angeles. A very, very dangerous city. And they've been gang banging, if you want to call it, as far as with the Chicago street organizations, since the 50s. Their whole city rotates off of that. It's no longer really, 5 or 6 no more. It ain't really people's versus folks no more. It's a bunch of, hybrid, splinter gangs, man. Dudes just kind of rotating with blocks. You got certain gangs, man, out there, where with GDs and VLs are clicked up. Or, MCs and foes are clicked up. Or MCs and BDs, MCs and GDs clicked up. You know what I'm saying? At one point, you even had BDs that was running under the 5-point star, called themselves the Blue Five. But their whole culture has been on that. They've been doing that, like I said, since the 50s, man. Definitely not a game out there. Definitely not a game out there. Chicago is one of them cities, man, where you got to get got. You're going to get got right then and there. And what's real ill about Chicago, man, it's not a lot of innocent bystanders that get hit. They get their target. And it's revenge back to back to back to back to back. Rest in peace to Nipsey. To all the, the fallen Bloods and Crips out there. No doubt LA put in pain. We ain't gonna take nothing from them. But when we talking, dangerous, oh yeah, the Chicago, yeah. They gonna show up and they gonna show out, man. Allegedly, OTF, Dirk's organization, had put a bag out on Lil Rondo head. And allegedly, Lil Durk was, in tune and rotating with the Rolling 60s. And allegedly, that play was set up to catch Rondo out in LA so Lil Durk and them can go ahead and do them dirty, catch them out there in LA and give them what they want. You know what I mean? And I'm assuming and willing to bet you that when the Rolling 60s allegedly set up that play, they kind of thought that, the OTF was going to catch, Lil Rondo and his entourage, probably like, on an off block or a park or something like that, you know what I mean? Or, like some alleyway or something like that. They didn't think that they was going to catch Lil Rondo and his entourage in traffic on a busy strip the way they did. Think about that mentality, man. This is all alleged. Because Lil Durk's still fighting trial. You know what I mean? It's all alleged. These young dudes boarded the airplane. What they get busy with. They get busy uniform. Flew to LA. Got off the plane. And they get busy. Where? They get busy uniform. Hopped in Reynolds, got the hammers, found the tracking of where Lil Rondo and his entourage was headed. Caught him at that strip in traffic and let off. and let off. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's dedication. That's a whole different level of gangster-ish. You know what I mean? That's a whole different level of gangster-ish, man. And then boarded the plane, went right back to Chicago like everything was everything. FBG Duck. The murder of that brother. How they showed OTF when they got the call that this brother was at that store on the Gold Coast downtown Chicago. They showed these brothers, man, running up and down the stairs in them buildings of old blocks, man, transforming their clothes, man, jumping in they get busy wear, they get busy uniform, man, to go put in that pain, man. Dedication, man. And then post about it. Then post about it. Yeah, in Chicago, man, really a killer be killed mentality. A killer be killed mentality. Dudes not caring about your life, let alone theirs. They different, man. They different. You know what I'm saying? They different. LA street based gangs in certain towns and hoods and communities out there, you know, they had neighboring bullies. Debo from Friday was based off an actual neighborhood bully. In Chicago, bullies don't live long, gang. Bullies don't live long, man. Bullies don't live long, man. Chicago's different, man. Chicago's different, man. And you know, to keep it honest, man, I don't even like speaking on content like this because I don't want to make it seem like I'm glorifying or, you know, I'm trying to put this city against that city. Nah, that's not my intent, man. I'm just trying to make people aware, man, that other places and other regions, man, get busy, man. Either just like you or in certain cases, worse than you. On a music level, man, you pull up LA gangsters rap and you put that to Chicago drill situation, man. LA gangster rap, yeah, it was street music. It was very influential. It was a soundtrack people could vibe to. That Chicago drill rap, man, that drill scene, man. Inside of Chicago, man, them dudes were really, really gang banging, man. They was on that time. FaceTiming each other, man. Begging each other to put up they low. Drop they addy. Wasn't playing, man. They was getting the streaming money, YouTube money. And a lot of them, man, unfortunately, ain't even lived long enough to even see the fruits of what they created or the fortune of what they created. They was really living that. Chicago, man, it's a big difference than LA. A big difference than LA. Yeah. I mean, I'm keeping it all the way a million, man. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat nothing, man. I'm gonna tell you what it is, man. As a New Yorker, I feel way safer in LA than I would in Chicago, man. For real. And a lot of LA dudes trying to, paint that picture like, oh, Chicago ain't with the business and da 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 da, this, that. Tell you something, man. Chicago's it, bro. On that street element, man. Gang banging, yeah, Chicago's it, bro. I ain't even gonna style on you, man. Chicago's it. They got it hands down, man. They coming for you. And they will broadcast that. They coming for you. Sick, twisted, soulless, killer be killed individuals roaming them streets, man. Taunting the opposition. Letting the opposition know through social media that they did that. That's a different beast. And they have that history of doing that, man, since the 50s, man. Chicago been planted that seed as far as that gangsterism, man. That when Malcolm X, Martin Luther King went out there to Chicago, man, they tapped in with the VLs and the BDs and the Stones. Fred Hampton was trying to organize the Stones and bring the Stones under their umbrella, and the Stones told him, nah, man, they want to bring the Panthers under their umbrella, under their nation. Yeah, Chicago been that deal, man. I ain't taking nothing from, no other city or nothing like that. But man, as far as that gang politicking and gang riffs and beefs, come on, my G. You got to keep it tall, man. Chicago got that, man. Chicago got that, man. For these young dudes, man, that drill culture, man, unleashed demons across the states, man. Word. They unleashed a wave of insane homicides across the nation, man. Chicago's that deal, man. Y'all better stop playing, man. It's no face to rambling, man. Peace and love, man. Understand the message. Understand I ain't trying to cause division, man. I'm just speaking truth, man. Stop it, man. Stop thinking that, wherever you at, wherever you from, it's just, the hardest and the illest thing to ever, evolve in this culture, street things, man. Like, other regions and other places got shit popping, man. You can go anywhere and get smoked. You know what I mean? Step outside your circumference, man. Go other places, travel, man. Experience things, man. I ain't telling you to go from here to another hood and a whole nother state. I'm just saying experience life, man. But understand, man, people get busy everywhere. Everywhere. Your city ain't no harder than the next city. But we're gonna keep this a million, bro. As far as that gang element, that street element, man, some killer be killed, Chicago, hands down, bro. That's just what it is, man. Chicago, hands down, man. Snowface the Rambler, man. Peace and love, y'all. Let's get to it.